Hey everyone, big news from the Staff Selection Commission. The SSC just dropped a really important notice about the CGL 2025 Tier 1 exam. So, let's jump right in and break down exactly what this means for you.
So I know it's on everyone's mind right now. What is this new notice? Are the cutoffs different? Did they change the list of candidates? We're going to get into all of it right now and clear up all your questions.
Okay, so first things first. What exactly is this notice? You'll see the official term they use is a Corrigendum. Sounds a bit technical, right? But don't worry, let's figure out what that actually means.
Yeah, don't let that word corrigendum throw you off. It's really simple. It just means a correction. Basically, if they find a mistake in something they've already published, they issue an official notice like this to set the record straight. It's a totally standard thing, happens all the time.
So, what was the mistake they're fixing? Well, the notice says there was an inadvertent error, basically an accidental mistake, in the original Tier 1 result write-up that came out on December 18, 2025. And to be specific, the error was all about the numbers for List 3. So this whole notice is just to correct that one thing.
All right, let's get to the most important part, the part you're all waiting for. What exactly did they change? We're about to look at the updated cutoffs and the new numbers for the candidates.
Okay, so here it is. This is the corrected table for List 3. You can see right here the revised cutoff marks and the actual number of candidates available for every single category. These are the final, official, correct numbers now.
Now, check this out. The most interesting change is for the unreserved, or UR, category. The old cutoff was 136.83159. The new one? It's been lowered just a little bit to 136.40215. And because that cutoff went down, it makes sense that the number of available candidates went up from about 20,000 to over 20,700.
And what does that do to the grand total? Well, with this correction, the new total number of candidates in List 3 who've made it to Tier 2 is now 131,027. That is the official number you need to know.
Okay, so we've seen the cutoffs change, the number of candidates has been tweaked, but I know, the biggest question bouncing around in everyone's head right now is, what does this mean for my result? Does this affect me personally?
Let me put it plainly. Did this correction change your individual score or whether you qualified? Is anyone getting kicked off the list? Is anyone new getting added? This is the million-dollar question, right?
And here's the answer loud and clear. It's right there in point number 3 of the notice. The SSC says, and I'm quoting this word for word so there's no confusion, this correction has not resulted in any addition or deletion from the earlier published List 3 and does not affect the result of any candidates. So, let me repeat that. The big takeaway is your result is 100% safe. Nobody has been added and nobody has been removed.
Okay, deep breaths everyone. Now that we've cleared up the biggest worry, there's one other little update in this notice we should talk about. And this one has to do with the normalization process.
So here's the deal. Apparently, some candidates whose exam got rescheduled to October 14, 2025 had some questions about how their scores would be normalized. Fair enough, right? So to handle this, the SSC put together an expert committee. And that committee recommended that these students should just be grouped back in with their original shifts for normalization. And guess what? The SSC agreed and has gone ahead and done just that. So their marks have been normalized properly now.
All right, that was a lot to take in, so let's do a quick recap of this whole notice. What are the absolute key things you need to walk away with? Let's go through the main points one more time. Okay, point number 1. The SSC released a Corrigendum, which is just a fancy word for a correction notice, for the Tier 1 result. 2. This notice fixes some numbers, specifically the candidate count and cutoffs for a few categories in List 3. 3, and this is the big one, the most important thing to remember, your personal result and your qualification status have not changed at all. 4, they also cleared up how normalization was handled for those rescheduled candidates. And finally, number 5, everything else from the original result on December 18th is exactly the same.
So what's the bottom line here? It's simple. Your result is safe. You can stop worrying about this notice and put all that energy and focus right where it belongs, on your Tier 2 prep. You know, this whole thing was just about a small clerical error, but it really goes to show how every single decimal point matters in these exams. So that leaves me with one question for you. What small detail are you going to focus on to get that critical edge for the next